Rosie Wright is at the BT Tower for us this morning. Good morning to you, Rosie. Tell us more.
Good morning to you both. Yes, I'm at the picket line at the BT Tower. This is the third round of strikes this year from the union who say we need more pay. We're expecting today about 30,000 of their engineers to go on strike and also 10,000 of the call operators. But crucially, what is different this time? For the first time, 999 call operators are also going to go on strike. At this point, around 400 to 500 is what we anticipate. We can find out more about why and why this union have significantly, in their own words, upped the ante. Joining me now is Dave Ward, who's General Secretary of the Communication Workers Union.
Good morning.
BT have said this strike is reckless. Why are you going ahead?
Well, look, let's talk about upping the ante. It's BT who are upping the ante all the way through this dispute. I mean, it cannot be right that call centre workers earning between £21,000 and £27,000 a year are having to go on strike. They're at a tipping point. The actual situation with BT is that they are refusing to negotiate. They've had 2.5 weeks' notice of this dispute. We would rather be in a room sitting with them today trying to get this dispute resolved than being out on strike. And that goes for all of our members. So it's BT who are upping the ante. And I have to say it's their levels of hypocrisy, greed and arrogance.
Let me just put BT's side across. They said in April we'll offer you a pay rise of £1,500, which they said for the majority was about 5%. For those on the lowest income, that was about 8% pay rise, the highest pay award that they've given out in 20 years. Why do you say that's not enough?
Rosie, can I say it's right that you hold people like me to account to come here today, but where are the CEOs of BT? They don't come out and explain their position. You put their position for them. And that's not true. They imposed a pay rise of £1,500 that was worth on average about 4.8%. But that come on the back of a pay freeze that they imposed last year as well. And with inflation like it is, people are really at a tipping point now. And all we're saying is surely your viewers and surely every politician in the country would be saying, why are we not sitting in a room trying to negotiate a resolution to this dispute?
I mean, BT have said that pay dispute for 2022 has now been closed. There's no room now for us to have further communication. So why do you think, they'll say they'll talk in communication, but they say the dispute right now has been settled in April. So why do you think this action, and involving 999 call handlers, is actually going to change anything and also might make you lose public support?
Look, let's be honest, BT, rather than negotiate, chose to use their managers today and train up agency workers to cover these roles. So they did that rather than refuse to negotiate. We could have suspended the strike if they'd have come to the table with fresh proposals. Why do we believe that they can afford a decent pay rise for workers? Well, they made £1.3 billion last year. They awarded shareholders over £750 million, and the CEO took a 32% increase in pay, taking his pay to £3.5 million. Now, you'll understand, against that background, why our members are so fed up of the way they're being treated with utter contempt. And I can't emphasise enough here that some of these workers are so important to society. We understand that. It's an incredibly difficult decision for them today. But why is it that these people at the top of businesses, it's like a disease up and down the whole of the UK, of arrogance, of greed, of hypocrisy, they should be in the room negotiating a solution to this dispute?
That's very clearly what you're asking. We can go back to BT and put those claims to them. I'm sure you're doing the same. Just talk to me to the public right now who might feel, I want absolute confidence that when I ring 999, there are going to be enough people there to pick up the phone. Are you worried that the public might say, actually, we supported these strikes, but this is enough?
Look, what I'd say to the public is that we gave BT 2.5 weeks' notice. We made an offer to them.
Anything new to say to the public? You haven't already told me.
What I'll say to them is that these the 999 calls are being covered by managers, are being covered by agency workers. And, you know, the public need to understand that the people who are out on strike today are exactly the same as them. They're people who are really struggling. They're going to food banks.
How much are you prepared to hurt the service to try and get a pay rise?
We don't want to hurt the service. We want to actually be in a position where our members can do that work with decent pay terms and conditions.
Dave, thank you very much for speaking to me. So the strike action will be taking place across the day, not just today, but also scheduled for the 10th, the 20th and the 24th of October. So there is much more of this to come. BT, as Dave has just said, have said they are going to supply those staff. So if you ring 999, there will be someone to make really clear who will answer the phone. I'll have more across the day for you here from BT Tower.